I welcome you all for this Indian polity class. We continue with the Constitution. Directive Principles of State Policy, Part 2. As you know, in the last class we have seen an overview of Directive Principles of State Policy. Today we will see each directive principle, its substance, and its importance. Let me tell you that we analyze these articles only from exam point of view, not to acquire knowledge, because you are more knowledgeable than me. Only with reference to exam, which are expected, which are frequently asked, which are in controversy, so that it appear in the news item. So it is important. We are not here to enrich our knowledge. We are here only to get through. That's all. So first article 36. As I already told you, it defines the state. The last class we have already explained. The same definition as applies to article 12 also applies to article 36. Article 12 in part 3, fundamental rights, it defines the state for the purpose of fundamental rights. Article 36, the same definition has been repeated in article 36 as a definition for state for directive principle of state policy. This is article 36. Article 37 again, I have already explained in the last class. This conveys the importance and significance of directive principle of state policy. Please note, it has been told in article 37 that these principles are fundamental in the governance of the country, and also it is the duty of the state. State includes, remember, union legislature, state legislatures, union executive, state executive, and local bodies or any other authorities. It is a direction, it is a duty of the state to implement these principles, and they should keep this in mind while making law. This is article 37. Article 38 is to promote welfare of the people by securing social order, socio-economic, political. Social order in the sense, all the three combined together, socio-economic and political. And also, remember, to minimize the inequality in income, inequality in status, inequality in facility, inequality in opportunity. The second provision, that is minimize the inequality in income, status, facility and opportunity. This provision was added through 44th Amendment Act 1978. Very important. Minimize the inequality in income, status, facility and opportunity. This is the second provision of article 38. This has been added through 44th Amendment Act 1978. Please note, this is a socialist principle. Then we come to article 39. This article gives 6 rights. Very important. Article 39 gives 6 rights. What is those rights? Number 1, adequate means of livelihood. Number 1. Number 2, this is A. B is equitable distribution of material resources for common good. Equitable distribution of material resources for common good. This is B. C. Prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production. Article 39, B and C. Then D. Equal pay for equal work for all. Then E. Preservation of health and strength of workers and children against abuse. And F. Opportunity for healthy development of children. Remember, this article 39 is a socialistic principle. And I told you article 39 B and C, I emphasized, that is equitable distribution of material resources for common good, number 1, that is B. Number C, prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production. Remember, these two, article 39B and C, has a predominant position, has been given predominant position through article 31C, added through 25th Amendment Act 1971. So 25th Amendment Act 1971 added Article 31C, giving predominant position to Article 39B and C. Remember, most important, Article 39B and C. What are B and C? Equitable distribution of material resources for common good. This is B. C is prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production. These two have been given predominant position under Article 31C, which has been included through 25th Constitutional Amendment Act 1971. Remember, under Article 31C, I elaborate Article 31C. No law which seeks to implement this Article 39B and C, which I just now told, shall be declared void on the ground of its inconsistency with Article 14, 19 and 31 since deleted. Remember, Article 31 has been deleted. So, now, as of now, Article 14 and 19. So, any law made to implement Article 39B and C cannot be declared void on the ground of inconsistency with Article 14 and 19. Remember, this is the predominance given in Article 31C for Article 31B and C. Remember, this was challenged in the Kesavananda Bharati case and Minerva Mill case. Kesavananda Bharati case in 1973, Minerva Mill case in 1980. In both the cases, Supreme Court has upheld Article 31C. The predominance given to Article 39B and C has been upheld in both the cases. And secondly, another point you should remember is the subclass F was modified in 42nd Amendment Act. What is subclass F? Opportunities for healthy development of children. This is the second provision. So this was added through 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. Remember. Then Article 39A. Article 39A. This refers to equal justice and free legal aid to the poor. Very, very important. Very frequently asked in every paper, this is there. What is that? Equal justice. All are equal in the eyes of law. That is, everybody, even if you want to condemn a criminal, you should give him a chance. You should give him a fair chance. Suppose if he has no resources, then you should provide legal aid, free legal aid to the poor. So, this is National, Legal Service Act has been made. Similarly, the national and the state level, there is a district level, there is a taluk level, legal services has been provided. So, this was added through 42nd Amendment Act. And this is also socialist principle. Remember, this is also socialist principle. Now, Article 38 and 39, we have seen both. These both put together, we call this as a distributive justice. Remember, like inclusive growth, it should percolate to the last man. That is why we call this as distributive justice. The justice is distributed not only among the rich, and among the poor also, among the far-flung areas, rural people, and who are neglected, deprived, all the kinds of people, this justice should percolate. That is the reason 38 and 39 put together, we call this as distributive justice. If there is a question, which articles in the Constitution say about distributive justice, it is 38 and 39. Then 40, very simple, organization of village panchayats to enable them to function as units of self-government. Remember, this is a Gandhian principle. 40 is Gandhian principle. This is the only principle included because there was a difference of opinion between Dr. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi. But finally, this was added. Gandhiji wanted Ram Raja. Every village should be like a Ram Raja. But Ram Raja involves Varnasrama Dharma. So Varnasrama Dharma means casteism. So Ambedkar was against it. So this was added in the what is known as directive principle. Then Article 41. 41 says about the right to work, right to education, right to public assistance in the case of unemployment, in the case of old age, and in the case of disablement, and in the case of sickness. This is 41. Again, this is also socialist principle. Remember, here you should understand right to education has been made as a fundamental right under Article 21A, added through 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002 as a result of Supreme Court decision in Mohini Jain case as well as Unni Krishnan case. These two cases which are decided by the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court gave a direction that even though it is included in the directive principles, you have no time to implement them. So, Government of India has added Article 21A as a fundamental right through 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. This is a socialist principle. Then Article 42 speaks about human conditions of work and maternity relief. Very often asked, which article gives the female government servant the right to maternity relief? Article 42. Frequently asked question. Remember, Article 42 ensures human conditions of work and maternity relief. Very important. Frequently asked question. Then 43. This has got two parts. One is to secure living wage, decent standard of living, and social and cultural opportunities for workers. Remember, this is a socialist principle. We are saying living wage, not minimum wage. Minimum wage means only three components: food, clothing, and shelter. That is, if the basic necessities are taken care, it is called a minimum wage. Living wage include, in addition, education, healthcare, and insurance. That is a living wage. Then there is a fair wage, which is between minimum wage and living wage, is called fair wage. Again, this is the socialist principle. Another part of 43, Article 43 is promotion of cottage industries. Again, this is the Gandhian principle. In rural areas, individual either individual basis or cooperative basis. This is the Gandhian principle. Then comes 43A, very important. Workers participate in management of industries. A socialist principle added through 42nd Amendment Act 1976. Remember, this was added through 42nd Amendment Act 1976. It is a socialist principle. And workers' participation in management. The role of workers in every industry, even in public sector, there is a representative of the staff in the managing board. In the board of management, there is a representation for the workers. That is an Article 43A, which has been added through 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. Then Article 43B, very, very, very important, because it talks about the promotion of cooperative societies. Promotion of cooperative societies. A separate chapter has been added separately in the Constitution. This is a Gandhian principle added through 97th Constitutional Amendment Act 2011. Then comes, remember, very important, Article 44. Very important, which speaks about Uniform Civil Code, which has not been implemented so far by the government. The only article, directive principle which has not been implemented is Article 44. There is a common criminal code. If a Muslim or a Christian or a Hindu commits a culpable homicide or any offence, they are punishable under the same law. Code of Criminal Procedure, Indian Penal Code, Indian Evidence Act. There is a common criminal code. But where in the case of marriage, in the case of divorce, in the case of adoption, in the case of property, there is a separate law for Muslims, separate law for Hindus, separate law for Christians. So we want a separate common civil law. But that is not able to be implemented so far. Even though BJP has included this in its election manifesto, it has not been implemented so far. Then we are coming to Article 45. Is a provision of early childhood care and education for children up to the age of 6. Up to the age of 6. Remember, originally this article provided compulsory and free education to all children up to the age of 14 years within 10 years from the date of inception of the Constitution. We could not fulfill. Present version was added through 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. Along with Article 45, Article 51A, K was added as a duty in fundamental duty in Part 4A, and also right to education was added as Article 21A through 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002, as I already told you. With this, we complete Article 45 in Directive Principles of State Policy.